Many of the Black Hawk helicopters often train in our house. Black Hawk helicopters often are the type that are carrying VIPs. Here tonight, every person on board that aircraft, the helicopter, a very important person as we learn and wait to learn their fate tonight, Caitlin.
Yeah, we were told it was three members of the U.S. Army who were on board that helicopter. And of course, many more passengers on that plane. Laura Coates will continue to check in with you outside of Reagan National Airport. CNN's aviation correspondent Pete Muntean is here with me. Pete, I know you've been checking in with your sources. What is the latest that you've heard? I mean, this is undeniably a tragedy that we are all watching unfold.
Tragic that it was even able to happen. And the question now is, when will this turn from a rescue mission and turn into a recovery mission on what is a moonless night in the nation's capital, and an incredibly difficult scene for crews there on the banks of the Potomac River. You can see the incredible response at Reagan National Airport, where this flight was slated to land from Wichita, Kansas at about 8:50 Eastern time. So we're talking less than 3 hours ago. This Canadair regional jet, a CRJ 700 with 60 passengers on board and four crew, a nearly full flight as it was on its way into Reagan National Airport, lined up to land from the south, which is the typical approach path called the Mount Vernon approach into National Airport, the busiest runway in the National Airspace System, runway 1, and then swung out to the right, a maneuver typically used by air traffic controllers to try and make the flow of planes go a little bit faster and get another airplane in, a very crammed system, and swung out to the right to try and land on a northwesterly runway called runway 33. That is apparently when this collision happened, when this flight was about only a few hundred feet above the ground. And this is the video that investigators will, of course, be looking at. You can see the fireball take place there, what appears to be the helicopter coming from the left side of your screen, the flight on approach into runway 33 there in the center. That is the explosion, and of course, parts falling to the ground there.
I mean, it's sickening to see that video.
The big thing here, and this is something investigators will also want to look at, is whether or not there was any warning in the cockpit. And so there are so many blind spots in an airplane, and a crew on approach, this is not the same type of airplane, this is slightly different, but a crew on approach into a runway, they're typically looking at the runway. I can tell you as a pilot and a flight instructor, you are intensely focused on what is unfolding in front of you. Not a lot of times you're looking left and right for other airplanes, or in this case, helicopters. This is a very, very congested piece of airspace. So as